Motorhead Garage, the program that each week introduces you to and shows you how to install the latest and exciting and innovative products for your vehicle. Motorhead Garage is presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. Now here's your host, Dave Dobson.
Welcome to Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. And when it comes to welding, the name Forney has been around for 90 years now, Gabby. Almost a century. How does Forney stay relevant after all that time?
Yeah, so Forney is a family-owned business, and so we've been innovating, designing, and engineering products for a long time. So we're just trying to stay relevant with the market and get our end users what they can. We have overcome a lot of obstacles, so we got through the Great Depression, and now we've gotten through COVID with a really good standing. So.
And you said you're trying to innovate and keep up. You're doing more than that. You're leading the field here. You have your Easy Weld line here. First of all, you're known for welding, so let's talk about the welder.
Yeah, so this is the 140 MP Forney Easy Weld. This machine can do MIG welding, TIG welding, stick welding. It will weld up to 1/4 inch. So single pass, but every once in a while you do have to clean your material up a little bit just to get a little bit better penetration so that that machine will actually get into that 1/4 inch material. This machine was designed around a 8-inch spool. It will also accept a 4-inch spool as well. It will take flux core or hardwire, so you could feed gas to the back of this machine and weld with gas or without. So it's very capable for portable use, contractors, DIYs, farm use, all kinds of different processes that this unit can do to serve multiple different applications.
And what about the power needs?
So it's just a 120 volt machine. So 1/4 inch on a 120 volt machine is quite a capacity. This machine will run on a 15 or 20 amp breaker. Full capacity is better at 20 amp. 15, you will reduce your duty cycle just a little bit because you can run into popping breakers and things like that. So.
And that's all about versatility. Great, like you said, you know, if you have to be portable, getting around a farm or to somebody else's shop. Great for beginners as well, because you don't have to buy a whole bunch of different equipment. Onto this machine here, here's your plasma cutter. Tell me about this.
So this machine is a 20 amp plasma cutter. It is the only 20 amp plasma cutter that runs off 120 volt that will cut up to 1/4 inch on the market. The consumables in the torch here, they are proprietary to Forney Industries, so you do have to purchase our consumables. This unit also will run off of 120 volts, like I said, so a 20 or 15 amp breaker, and then you have to supply at least 1.5 CFM at 90 PSI to the machine for it to be able to cut.
And you don't need a big compressor?
No. So most pancake compressors are capable of 1.5 CFM at 90 PSI. And this unit cuts through 1/4 inch, and I mean, if you really wanted to cut a little thicker, you probably could if you just slow down a little bit and give it a little bit of time to cut through there. So. You
brought in 2 examples here from the Easy Weld line, but there's more as well in your catalog.
Yeah, so our Easy Weld line consists of 5 machines, the 2 we see here. Also a 100 ST, which is a stick TIG machine, and a 180 ST, which is a stick TIG. And then a 140 FCI. So the 140 FCI is like this one's little brother. It only runs flex core wire, so no gas input. The MIG gun that is detachable on this 140 MP is not detachable on the FCI, so it's just connected direct. You can't change any of the equipment. That one is also the same size as this one, so it will accept a 8-inch or 4-inch spool as well. But like I said, only flex core wire. And then the 100 ST is actually the same capability as this unit on stick. So those machines are basically those 2 put together and then makes this one. So
a big part of your job is talking to customers, people that use this equipment. What kind of feedback do you get from them when they switch over, when they first use the Easy Weld line?
So when a customer first uses the Forney Easy Weld line, they seem to love it. So when they get their hands on this plasma cutter, they're like, oh my gosh, this machine can cut so well, and it's only 120 volts, and I only need a small compressor. Okay, I'm sold. So a lot of people really love the versatility of the plasma cutter as well as this welder, because this welder, they can say, okay, well, I need to go do a job here at my buddy's house, but they don't have a welder. They don't have better voltage there. They only have 120 volts, so they could pack this machine along with them and go and weld that. So people seem to really love the size and the capability of these units.
And you speak of capability, with the Easy Weld line, we're talking folks from DIYers all the way up to pros. Forney offers the same thing when it comes to PPE and some of the ancillary equipment that goes with the welders as well.
Yeah, exactly. So we have our welding helmet line that kind of runs with our machines and some of our other equipment also.
What if I'm using one of the Easy Weld machines for the first time? and maybe I need a little help. What resources do I have?
Yeah, definitely. So we have our expert techs. That is my department. So if you are ever having any issues with your machine when you're first getting started, or you don't know what kind of wire to use, or if you have the right stuff, feel free to give us a call. I mean, that's what we're here for. We really strive to help our customers and really make them feel comfortable to use our equipment. So whether it comes to warranty issues, or how to set up, or what do I need for this process and this project, that's what we're here for. So it's a really good support system that we have, and we just want everybody to feel like they can run their machine and they have our support when they need it. So
Forney is famous for their customer support. They're also famous for their equipment, and they've been going strong for 90 years. You can find them at forneyind.com. And you can find more Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings right after this.
Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, is brought to you by RockAuto.com. All the parts your car will ever need. BrothersTrucks.com, your #1 source for 1947 to 87 Chevy and GMC truck restoration. Magic Creeper, the most versatile creeper ever. NH Oil Undercoating, the official oil-based rust prevention system. And by Wilbur's Performance Suspension, the motorcycle suspension experts.
Thanks for staying with us here on Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. You know, in any vehicle, fuel delivery is so important. Carl, if you're maybe going around a cloverleaf on a highway, maybe you're off-roading, maybe you're racing, and you're not getting fuel to the pump. Maybe the gas is sloshing from one side or the other. You're going to have trouble. How have the OEMs solved problems like that?
Yeah, well, the OEMs have solved that problem with what's called the integrated fuel module. That's what this is. So this has an electric pump in it, just like any traditional fuel system does. But what makes this device so unique is this reservoir system that's at the bottom, because it always has fuel overflowing in it. So when fuel washes away, this still has fuel to be able to feed to the electric pump.
And the pump is surrounded by the fuel, which means there's pressure to it. It also keeps it cooler, is that right?
Keeps it much cooler, always immersed in fuel, so it's always feeding the fuel pump with good fresh fuel.
And now you figured a way to put that module into a tank like this that it might have in a hot rod or a race car.
Right. For these systems, there's really two different components. First is the mechanical method of being able to get the fuel module into the tank. So there's the Welding ring that's on the top, and that allows for the fuel module to press down and compress against the bottom of the tank. It uses the OEM sealing ring and the OEM cam ring. So both the fuel module, the sealing ring, and the cam ring, if you need spare parts, you can get them from RockAuto.com.
That piece of cake there. First of all, to tighten this, we'd use channel locks.
You could use a simple pair of channel locks, or you can use the specialized fuel locking ring tool that's available also from RockAuto.
And for demonstration purposes, we just have it hand tight there. But you mentioned the spring-loaded feature of this, and it presses it against the bottom of the tank. Why is that important?
Right, so there's actually suction pumps that are on the bottom of the fuel module that literally suck fuel off the bottom of the tank and bring it into the reservoir. So that fuel module needs to be preloaded against the bottom of the tank for that to happen.
And if I'm using corner pickups, maybe I'm off-roading or racing and I've got high G loading on one side or the other, and I need corner pickups, can I integrate it with this system?
Sure, you can integrate as many of these corner pickups together as you want by daisy chaining them, tie them into the available suction port that's on the side of the fuel module, and we'll literally suck the tank dry from any of the corners of the tank that those corner pickups are mounted to.
Very cool. Now, let's talk about this module. How does this fuel module beat a standard pump like you have there from the Hellcat?
Okay, so this is a standard Walbro 450 liter per hour pump. It's the same pump that's used in the Hellcat, the Dodge Hellcat. Now, if you kind of imagine, let's say you've got fuel that's at this level here, and fuel washes away, now this pump runs dry. When this pump runs dry, the same thing happens as if you ran out of oil in your engine. The oil pressure is going to fall, but when the oil sloshes back to the pickup, now you get oil pressure again, but the damage has been done. Eventually the pump is going to fail. By keeping the pump surrounded with fuel, you help increase its life.
And we talked about getting the module into the tank. The second step is controlling that, controlling the fuel that goes
Correct.
to it.
That's the second piece. First was mechanical.
Yes.
Now we need to do the electronic piece.
And how do we do that?
So there's kind of two different ways. So you could try to integrate what the OEMs have used, but it's very difficult to do that both electronically, and almost all aftermarket EFI systems do not have the capability of being able to drive a fuel computer. So what we have instead is a standalone controller that can drive any of the OEM fuel modules.
How do I know what kind of pressure I need and how much fuel I need to send to my engine?
So let's say you're going to put in an LS3 crate engine from GM. It's going to have a fuel pressure and fuel volume specification that's included in the instructions. There's also simple calculations that can be done to figure out how much fuel does my engine need, and then on the VaporWorks website, there's a resources section that walks you through how to be able to make the right fuel module selection.
Now, while we're talking about help like that, the resources section, what if I'm not sure what equipment I need or what settings I need to use with stuff I buy from VaporWorks?
Well, if you ever need help, you can always call. And when you call, there's only one person who's going to pick up the phone. And I'll be happy to walk you through what your engine requirements would be, along with the necessary components to be able to make it all integrate well together.
And speaking of integration, wiring can be such a tricky deal with the OEMs. I know their systems are much more complicated than a lot of folks can comprehend. You've made that simple as well with the wiring and the harnesses that you have.
Right. Much of the wiring is already pre-done at VaporWorks. So, for example, this wiring harness already has the plug completely crimped to be able to go onto the General Motors fuel module. It also has the fuel pressure sensor already set up, so it just plugs in and goes. So you just route these parts back to the controller, crimp the terminals on, line up the colors. You don't even have to read the instructions if you don't need to. You just line up the colors and everything will work.
Well, a lot of heavy hitters are using products from VaporWorks, and you can too. Check them out at vaporworks.com. We'll return with more Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings and more products right after this. Welcome back to Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. If you think washing your car is a hassle, this is the line of car care products for you. Optimum Polymer Technologies, Dr. David Gadushi, you are the chemist who's formulated all of this stuff, and you're a polymer scientist, so we know this is the real deal. Now tell me how it all started 20 years ago.
Well, after I received my PhD, I worked in manufacturing automotive clear coat for several years with DuPont and PPG. And after I left there, I decided to manufacture a line of product designed for automotive clear coat, which in the past, everything was designed for single stage paint, which, as you know, is very different from clear coat. So we came out with the first product, which is Optimum Carvax, which has the same UV protection as factory clear, and still is the only product that offers this protection. And it's very easy to apply. You spray it, wipe it on. It adds UV to the clear coat, and it lasts longer than paste wax. So it saves you time and gives you better results. We continued on to manufacture several other products and a whole line, actually, to cover every aspect of automotive detailing, which are very easy to use, very user-friendly, and also environmentally friendly and very cost-effective. These are used by many thousands of professional detailers across the country.
And it also, for consumers here, this is the Optimum line. So
Absolutely.
This is what folks are going to grab a bottle and take home, and it's going to make cleaning easy. And talk about easy to use. You have the no rinse wash here. I've never seen anything like that. Tell the folks how that works.
Sure, absolutely. As you know, Dave, to wash a car with soap, you have to drag out the hose and rinse the car before and after, and it takes a long time, and you end up with wet clothes and wet shoes. And on a sunny day, you end up with lots of water spots on your car.
Every time.
So we decided to design a product that is much more advanced than car wash soaps, and it's a polymer-based product that only requires a fraction of water to wash your car, and you can wash with 2 gallons of water, 1 ounce of no rinse, and you get better results, no scratches, and a glossy finish in half the time.
And by the way, when you were finished, there's like one little drop of water on the floor. Nothing ran off of the car, so it's a pretty remarkable product. Now that is what you have for the consumers, the Optimum line.
Yes.
Then moving on, you've got ceramic coatings as well. That's a relatively new technology. How'd that come about?
We started manufacturing ceramic coatings back in 2008, and we were the first company in the continent to offer ceramic coatings. And ceramic coatings are much better than a wax or a sealant. They last for many years, and they protect the car paint better than anything else in the marketplace.
And you have several different levels, so depending on how long you want that finish to last, is that how it works?
We have a 5-year, 7-year, and a lifetime guarantee. But we guarantee it for a different amount of time, depending on which product you go with and how thick the layers are. We also have a consumer ceramic coating called Optimum Gloss Coat, OptiSeal, and HyperSeal, which your DIY users can easily apply to their cars and get several years of protection.
And for the consumers, what's the prep process like?
The prep process, it depends on the condition of the car. If it's got a lot of scratches, then you want to remove it before applying the ceramic coating. Otherwise, you're sealing the scratches. So, but if the car doesn't have a scratch and it's well maintained, you can just wash it with no rinse, dry it, and apply the coating.
Doctor, before I let you go, I know you have a special offer for our viewers.
Yes, we have the 8-ounce Optimum no rinse available to your audience with 100% money back guarantee and free shipping on our website, OptimumCarCare.com. That's how confident we are that people, once they use it, they're going to love this product.
And no risk there. If they're not satisfied, they just return it to you.
Right, 100% money back guarantee. And once you use this product, you're going to love it. Similar to thousands of professional detailers and 100,000 or more car care enthusiasts.
And how many washes am I getting out of that little bottle?
That's 8 ounce, gives you 8 washes. Costs less than soap and gives you much better results with no scratches and a glossy finish.
And here's something I love about all your products. Made right here in the USA, made in Tennessee in your hometown. Now, believe the science, he's a PhD. Check him out at OptimumCarCare.com. And you can check out more Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings in just a couple minutes.
Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, is brought to you by Magic Creeper, the most versatile creeper ever. Steel rubber products, quality crafted rubber parts and weather stripping. Fast coolers for manual transmissions. BD Diesel, the world leader in diesel performance. And by Personal Positioning Technologies. We support your workforce.
Well, we're hanging out here under this Tesla, and I looked up front. There's no internal combustion engine in this thing, Pasha. It's electric, of course. If I have an electric vehicle, why do I still need Tribotex?
There's still a lot of moving parts. Electric cars have transmission, and transmission is under extreme duress because electric motor delivers maximum torque at 0 RPM. So in transmission, you have shock and loads that is as close as space technologies.
And this is similar to space technology. NASA's got a vehicle that you're putting Tribotex in as well, right?
Yeah, we was recently featured in Forbes magazine, and NASA gave us 2020 spin-off award. When you launch space vehicle, the loads are about the same as in electric cars. Maximum shocks, vibrations, hits, like in tanks. And after that, vehicle is supposed to last forever. That's what we want to deliver for electric cars too. You apply Tribotex straight in the oil fill port, and then you let the car run normally. And over time, it builds this porous coating, particle by particle, that lasts longer than anything else you would ever seen.
And how long does it last? How often do we need to put it in here?
It's still about 40,000 miles, which we measure in motor hours.
The technology is real. You can check them out in Forbes magazine. You can also look at NASA's spin-off page to see what they think of this stuff. They think it's pretty cool, and so do I. Tribotex.com, the place to go.
Time now for the lowdown with Magic Creeper.
If you love off-roading, you need the Magic Creeper. First, let's talk about your tow vehicle. You're going to check all the fluids before you hit the road. You need to do that because towing is a lot of work on a vehicle, especially if you're going through mountainous terrain. When you check the fluids, you can use the Magic Creeper as a fender guard. It'll keep your clothes clean. It'll also keep your paint from getting scratched when you do that. Of course, when you're going around the vehicle, checking tire pressures, a must before any road trip, especially when you're towing. Use the Magic Creeper as a kneeling pad. Your knees will thank you. And of course, when you're on the road, break down by the side of the road, the Magic Creeper is going to be your hero because you can get it down on the ground. It's going to get muddy. You will not get muddy. You can glide over rocks. You can glide over tree roots, tools, whatever it is on the ground. You won't even notice it. The Magic Creeper glides right over. There's no way you can carry a traditional creeper with you. You're not going to have room, and it's not going to roll over any of those surfaces. Once you get out to the trail, of course, a lot of times you want to lower your air pressure. Hey, Magic Creeper, why not? Save your knees. Drop it, use it as a kneeling pad. You can check your air pressure, any adjustments you need to make around the vehicle, any tweaks, you can of course go underneath and do that as well. And once you get out on the trail, we all know you get stuff stuck underneath, twigs and sticks and all kinds of stuff up under there. Well, guess what? You don't have to get filthy. If it's muddy, you don't have to worry about that. The Magic Creeper gets dirty and you don't. You just take it, whip it underneath like that, and super easy. Now there's a lot of clearance here, which is a good thing, but the Magic Creeper requires zero ground clearance. So if you had wheels or something like that, A, you wouldn't be able to roll on the terrain, and B, there wouldn't be room for you underneath the vehicle anyway. So you can make the fixes you need to do. And oh, by the way, there's no way you're gonna take a rolling creeper with you out on the trail. So the Magic Creeper is perfect. You make all the tweaks you need to make. You get out, the Magic Creeper gets dirty. You do not. You're ready to enjoy the rest of your day and get back on the trail. There is only one authentic Magic Creeper, and there's only one place to find it. That's at magiccreeper.com. Makes a great gift too, by the way. Well, we are out of time here at Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, but of course, always more to do before we go home. Don't worry, we do Motorhead Garage every week at the same time, so be sure to catch us next time. In the meantime, if you've got something to tell us, or if you want to see your product featured on Motorhead Garage, email Jeff at masterstv.com. We'll get you here in the studios. From our entire crew here at Motorhead Garage, we will see you next time. So long.